going to move into some of our operations on rational expressions. So we're going to start with multiplying. That's the easiest one, and then we'll do dividing, and then we'll talk about adding and subtracting. So we want to multiply these two rational expressions. The way we do this is we factor, and then we cancel what we can, and we simplify it. So that's our plan. So let's start with the top left side, the numerator here. 15x squared plus 5x. Those are both divisible by 5. And we can factor out an x as well, which leaves us with 3x plus 1. And I like to cross these off as I do them just because it makes me feel better. All right, the denominator, x cubed minus 3x squared minus 18x. The first thing I can do is they all have an x in common. So I'm going to factor out an x. And now I have a nice trinomial I can factor again. So if I use my umbrella method, I'm looking for factors of 18 that subtract to 3. So let's see, that'll be 6 and 3. Negative 6, the signs are different, so plus 3. And once I factor that, I like to cross this off so I don't get confused. All right, to the other numerator, we can go straight to our factors. We're looking for factors of 15 that subtract to 2, so 5 and 3. Negative, and the signs are different. And finally down here, let's see, there's nothing that can factor out of 3x squared minus 8x minus 3, so I'm going to have to start both of my factors with 3x. Remember, there's too many 3's, we'll deal with that. I umbrella and I get 9. So I'm looking for factors of 9 that subtract to 8. Of course, that'll just be 9 and 1. So minus 9 plus 1. And remember, I have too many 3's, so I have to divide one of the factors by 3. These are both divisible by 3, so we'll go ahead and do it there. That gives us x minus 3, 3x plus 1. And then I'm just going to cross out this stuff just so I don't get confused. Okay, so this is what I have to multiply. I'm allowed to cancel things if they are top and bottom from each other, or if they're diagonal, like top and bottom. For example, 3x plus 1 and 3x plus 1 will cancel out. X plus 3 and x plus 3 are on the diagonals. And also above and below each other are x and x. And I think that's it. So in the numerator, I'm left with 5, x minus 5. And in the denominator, x minus 6, x minus 3. So that is our simplified form. We were not asked for the domain on that one, so it doesn't matter. Okay, we are next going to divide. Remember, when we divide just normal fractions, if you're doing 2/3 divided by 5/7, we don't divide fractions. What we do is we take the first fraction and we multiply by the reciprocal of the second. So we're going to do the same thing over here. We're going to multiply by the reciprocal. The first fraction stays the way it is. And we're going to turn this into multiplication, and we're going to flip the second one over. So x squared plus 2x plus 1, and x squared plus x plus 1. Now this is just like number 4. We're going to factor and simplify, cancel what we can. In our first numerator, we have x cubed minus 1 cubed. So this is a difference of cubes. So this is going to be one of those short factor, long factor. The short factor is x minus 1. The long factor is x squared. It ends with 1 squared. And the middle term is just 1 times x, which is x. Let's see, since the short factor was x minus 1, that makes this sign a plus, and this is always a plus. Okay, so that one's factored. In the denominator, we have x squared minus 1 squared. That's a difference of squares. So x plus 1, x minus 1 is how that factors. The other numerator, we're doing the umbrella method. So when you umbrella this, we're looking for factors of 1 that add to 2. Well, that's just going to be 1 and 1. They're both going to be plus. Now down here, if you try and use the umbrella method, you end up with 1. So you want factors of 1 that add to 1. and there aren't any. This actually cannot be factored any further. So you're stuck with that. Now, if you had trouble with those factors, go back and watch the last lesson video about factoring. Make sure you understand the homework from section P4, because I know I went a little faster through that, but make sure you're solid on your factoring. We're going to use it a ton this year. Okay, so we're going to cancel what we can. X minus 1 and x minus 1 will cancel. X squared plus x plus 1, x squared plus x plus 1 are on diagonals, so they cancel. And x plus 1 on the diagonal will also cancel. So our final answer is x plus 1. In the next video, we'll talk about how to add and subtract these.